Stories told with pure intention. Every voice gets full attention. Building trust without contention. Stronger through our connection. From La Videa to the diaspora. No gimmicks, just real data. Transparency is our mantra. Shining bright like an aurora. We are the voice you can believe in. Through the airwaves we keep giving. Day and night.
Again, I'm your host. My name is Derek Yale, and let's get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network. My name is Derek Yale. And if this is your first time joining us, wherever you're joining us from, let me officially welcome you here to the Liberia Radio and Television Network and tell you a little about us. So we are a local media institution right in Northeast Philadelphia, where we do our broadcast from. And we have our office open in Monrovia, Liberia for service as well. And tonight, the Liberia Radio and Television Network is proud to present a brand new episode of The Hard Zone. If you are very familiar with that, this is our opinion-based talk show where we feature a team of panelists from different political institutions, different political persuasions, and here we discuss a lot of different issues ranging from political, education, and social economics issues. So I know for those of you that know about the Hard Zone, it's been almost quite a few weeks of us being off the air, but we are back. And while we were away, of course, we've been working on preparing this season. So we have a lot of good work here for you this season. We've been working very hard on rebranding and bringing you different perspective on the Hard Zone. So that's what we've been doing in the back. We have our team working very hard to bring you a brand new episode. So stay with us. We have a lot of good things, a lot of different things happening on this season of the Hard Zone. And while we were on break, we weren't just sitting, we were also working. We did cover the Liberian Diaspora Annual Conference in Virginia a few weeks ago. And we're proud to bring that, what we got from there later episodes of the show. So as you know, we've also have been bringing you from our Facebook page and website of breaking news. We brought you breaking news from Liberia. We saw the government of Liberia displaying the NTA buses recently, that which gave Liberian diverse. When Liberia had diverse opinion that some celebrated, and it was reported that some attributable the president of Liberia on displaying the NTA buses. We also broke news about the MCC scorecard, and that was a breaking news that took the airwaves in Liberia. In part of Africa, we saw the oldest president in the world, President Paul Biya of Cameroon, being elected for the 8th term. And here in the U.S., we also saw the longest government shutdown. And we have some very, very, very prior results from the just ended elections. So we've been kind of bringing you all of those breaking news on our page and also our website. For tonight, we have on this episode a special guest with us. So we're going to introduce our special guest very shortly. But we have our special guest to kick this season off in the pilot episode of season 8. So again, welcome back to the Hard Zone.
Stories told with pure intention. Every voice gets full attention. Building trust without contention.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into our show here today. This is episode 1 of season 8 of the Hard Zone. My name is Derek Yale, and I will be leading you throughout this episode tonight as the host. With that being said, let me introduce for this episode our special guest, the newly elected president of the Federation of Liberia Association Canada, FLAG for short, Mr. Joseph Zanga Bright. Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network.
Thank you very much, Derek. It's a pleasure being here with you guys tonight. Bring you greetings from the Federation of the Liberian Associations in Canada. And we're very delighted to be on your show tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It is definitely a pleasure to have you here. And we look forward to you talking to us about the organization over there, and also just chatting about some of the how the election was and some of the things that you would like to share. With that being said, let me introduce our panelists for this episode. Mr. Dan Paye Dennis, welcome to another episode. You're not new to this. Welcome to episode 1 of season 8 of the Hard Zone.
Yeah, good evening, Derek. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Dan Kapaya Dennis. I bring you greetings from here in Pennsylvania, specifically Delaware County, Pennsylvania, and I'm happy to be back. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. I believe we have one more panelist, Bishop Cephas Reeves. Mr. Reeves, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Go right ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I'm excited to be here. And I'm joining you all the way from Ghana, West Africa.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been too long.
The introduction is too long. Well, thank you very much, Bishop Reeves. It's a pleasure to have you here. You're one of our longest serving panelists. You took us through seasons 1 to 7, and it's a pleasure to always have you here. So again, let's go back to our special guest, Mr. Joseph Zanga Bright. You take the privilege now of speaking this season of season 8. So again, I would like to say thank you so much for volunteering your time to come and talk to us. Let us get into the FLAG. Just talk to us briefly about FLAG, and we'll get into other questions from myself and the panelists.
Well, thank you very much. The Federation of Liberian Associations in Canada is a federal organization that covers all Liberians in Canada. We were founded about 10 years ago, and then there have been growth in the organization. And my team and I just ran in the elections for this year, and we were just elected as the new executive leadership for the team for FLAG. On Saturday, this Saturday, November 29th, we will be inducted and certificated as the new executive body for the organization. So we want to thank you for inviting us on tonight, and we'll look forward to having a fruitful conversation with the team. My Secretary General, Ibrahim Kuzet, will be joining us shortly. He is running after some stuff because, you know, like I said, Saturday, oh, thank God, AB is here now. As you speak of him, we have a program that we're planning for Saturday, and it's taking up a lot of our time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bright. Let me take this opportunity now to welcome you, the newly elected Secretary General, or Secretary General designate. I can see from the name of Mr. Ibrahim Guzet. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying your name wrong. Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me now. And it's a privilege to be here.
Thank you very much. So I'll just direct my question back to you, Mr. Joseph Wright. And if you would like for Mr. Guzet to answer the question, you can just transfer that over to him. So myself and the panelists will be asking you guys questions tonight. I'll just start with you, Mr. Brad. Just talk to us about the elections. Who was or were your opponent, and how was that entire process?
Okay, thank you very much. So, back in August of this year, the elections were called, and there were a few people that put their names forward for the positions, the various positions, the position of president, vice president, secretary general, treasurer, and financial secretary. There was a vigorous process that we went through to screen all the candidates, and some candidates did not meet the requirements. And then in the end, for my position, we were white balloted because there wasn't anyone who ran against us, and some other people dropped out of the race and along the way. It was. I can say it was not really a tedious process, but it was an interesting process. And those who have remained are those who were, that went through the entire process and all the requirements.
Thank you very much. I'll now like to go to Mr. Dennis, if you have any question for our guest.
To the president and other officials elect, I want to first of all say congratulations and welcome to the headache. And serving Liberians in the diaspora, we been there, done that, and we are still here. But once we did it, and we survived it, I think you guys will be able to do it. So mine is not a question. It's just that you should be aware of the criticism and the other rhetorics that will follow. But again, don't get deterred. Stay focused. But once you are on the right track and doing what the people, the residents of Canada, are in need of, then you give yourself a pat in the back. So it's challenging, but those of us who are volunteering ourselves, our family time, our personal time, I just want to say my hat off to you guys, and I wish you guys a successful. Is that 2 years?
Yes, it's a 2-year term.
2 years, and we will encourage you guys to be a part of EULA. I don't know whether during the election you participated in the process by guiding you guys in the process. But I will end by asking, how long has the organization been in existence?
So the federation was initially started or conceptualized in 2014.
Okay.
And being that Canada is a huge landmass and people are spread out far and wide, it's taken a while to bring everybody together, because our association is similar to EULA, where we represent other associations and other communities, other organizations of Liberians all around Canada. And over the period, we've had various ex-presidents and elections, and things have gone. You just said it. With any political institution, and especially with Liberians, there's a lot of hullabaloo and a lot of problems, but we've weathered the storm, and I believe that this new executive is coming with a new added energy to spark the association.
Yeah, my last question to you is that we see that in the diaspora, in national organization, that people at the formation of county and district organization, and that is weakening the national organization, and it's not allowing us to perform to our expectation. So what are some of the strategies? Do you intend to be inclusive, meaning that you intend to include the county, like the Grand Jury Association, Lima Association, Bond County Association, to be a member of the federation, or how do you intend to do that? Do you have any plan for that?
Yeah, so just for your first comment, I think I differ a little bit with you. I don't think that the formation of these organizations weakens the association. I think it actually strengthens the Liberian community. Okay. Now, we are here to serve the Liberian community. So with FLAG, our mandate is to work for every Liberian. In Canada, we have city organizations, right? So there are a lot of different cities that have their own Liberian associations. Okay. We have like you say, ethnic and tribal organizations like the Bassa Association, the Grand Jida Association, different associations here. We even have football teams that are Liberian owned, Liberian football teams and other women's group that we intend to work with everybody. We think that for us, we have to address the diversity in the Liberian society, and I think that diversity brings us together. There are people who like the political side and will come to the political events, but there are also people who only want to do the social part or the cultural part. So we have to be able to address all issues and serve everybody all around, from our Liberian diaspora. So that's what we work towards, And with your question concerning EULA, we have not really been working with EULA. So EULA has been traditionally a United States organization. EULA has not come into Canada. We are the umbrella organization in Canada, and we really, really want to work with EULA. We've had some conversations already with some of EULA executives, so that as early as Friday, when we do become inducted and certificated and start our role, we intend for EULA to be our first stop.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bright, and also to you, Mr. Dennis, for your question. You covered some of the questions I have for Mr. Bright later on in the show. But let's hear from you, Bishop Reeves. Do you have any question for our guest?
Yeah, I'm excited seeing Mr. Bright, because I've known Mr. Bright for so many years. So I know the kind of person he is. I know his character. I know what he does. But we're on the hot zone. So
yes, sir,
Mr. Bright, I want to know, being elected to this position, what would be your first order of business? That's my first question. Your first order of business, once you get certificated, what should we expect from you? Your first order of business. Number two, what do we expect in the next year or so? Because I heard you say you got 2 years. In the next year or so, what do we expect FLAG to be able to do, or to how is FLAG going to affect Liberia as a country? Because you're in the diaspora, what should we expect from you in terms of helping Liberia develop Liberia, bringing business to Liberia, building the Liberia private sector? What should we expect from FLAG?
Thank you very much, Bishop Reeves, and it's an honor to be sitting with you here today. We come from way back in Ghana, Tema place. It was a great time there. Anyways, to your question, in Canada, like most other Liberian communities, there's been a lot of division amongst the organizations here. And we at FLAG believe that our first order of business is to work for unity. We have to bring the Liberians back together. We have to bring communities back together. Before we even started running this FLAG, thinking about running for leadership in FLAG, I'm originally from Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada here, and I am with the Ottawa Association. We met them in shambles. Liberians were taking each other to court, and there was a whole big problem in Ottawa for about 10, 12 years. The organization was really not functioning. And we came in and we worked and brought that organization back. Not single-handedly, because our style is collaboratively. We worked with a lot of people and we're able to reconcile Ottawa. And I believe we can do the same thing with FLAG. That's our number one mission, that we reunite Canada and bring all the Liberian associations back together. In a year's time, we believe that the Liberians in Canada will once more come on the map. when people talk about diaspora, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's the fact. Everybody look at the United States, they look at the Americans in America, you look at the Liberians in America, and Canada is usually an afterthought. In 1 year, that would change. In 1 year, we will be on par. In 1 year, you will see that Liberians in Canada are just as competent and capable of moving the agenda in Liberia as anyone else. And that's what we plan to do. The organization is not 100% political, right? We have a lot of social and cultural aspects of our organization, and we have to work towards bringing our citizens back together. We have 2 programs that we believe will affect how we interact with Liberians back home. We actually we have an outreach and charity organization that we're going to be doing a lot of work with the different social norms we have back home. The ills in our societies, like the drugs that we all look at, we talk about as hot on the agenda right now. We have plans to work towards that. There's a lot to do with youth delinquency in Liberia, and that's something that we really will be looking into from this side and see how best we can, affect that. And thirdly, we know that in order to move a nation forward, we need to try to help in the educational sector, especially as it relates to tertiary education, like technical trades. And that's something that Canada is very, very big on. Skills trade is something that's moving Canada. You'll be surprised. I mean, in Canada immigration, one of the things that they really look at, they look for painters, they look for carpenters, they look for tile layers. Those kind of things that move a society, and those are things that they look down on in Liberia. And we believe that is what will help to move the country. So that's one of the areas that we are intending to look at when our youth wing is fully organized. Thank you.
Thank you. If I can chime in, Mr. Bright, I know you already mentioned that flag is now 100% political. So again, pardon me if I ask you a much more political question here. I was listening to you responding to the other panelists, or the panelists on here, and some of the things you've said is you've noticed, or you flag the division that is in your area, in your jurisdiction. As of now, you've mentioned your plan to reconcile and to make your jurisdiction reunited. But you also mentioned, you stress or that you really want to collaborate with ULA, and not to bring ULA history up. We've seen ULA in recent months in the news for a lot of controversy as far as division. We saw how the elections went. So now my question to you, with all of the good plans you have, how do you think your constituents, first of all, will react to you collaborating with ULA, be it good, be it bad? And given the fact that you mentioned that this organization is just as young or just 10 years old, how do you think that is going to affect you guys, be it good or bad, or affiliating with ULA?
Thank you for that question. It's a very interesting question. To be honest with you, before we can even start to collaborate with ULA, we have to fix our own backyard. So we have our own issues that we have to deal with. Now our arms are open to work with everybody, and not just ULA, because we've talked to the Liberians in Europe. We have some contacts there. We've also talked to the Liberian Association in Australia, and we're reaching out to other places. So ULA has the issues, and I don't believe that our job is to come and help to fix ULA or to work with ULA. Our thing is just to open our arms to collaboration. It will be too ambitious of us to think that we will help to fix ULA. But
that was in the direction of my question. I was asking more on optics.
Yeah, so I understand the optics. However, we still have to understand that no matter what happens, and even in Canada, with what we are trying to do, there are Liberians here who do not want to see us succeed. We know that for a fact. We have our own divisions here. So the optics are not the best, but we have to realize, who are we working for? Are we working for the name of flag to be great, or are we working for the Liberian people? You know,
Just to
so
be,
in the
just
end,
to be I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to be clear, Mr. Bright, are you saying that the optics working with ULA are not too good, or is that just for clarification?
no. I didn't say the optics are not too good. I'm not the one to decide if the optics are good or not. My job will be to avail myself or avail the organization to work with whoever comes to work with us. And obviously, we will have our own vetting process to make sure that whoever we work with will actually represent what our platform is. But we will definitely open our arms to work with everybody.
Thank you. And just before I move on to Mr. Donegan for another question, I hate to push you for you talking in circle, but I just want to get like something clear here. As far as flag working with ULA, do you think that would be like a positive result for your organization, or much more negative? And as far as the object is concerned,
I can't tell you if it will be positive or negative. I'm a positive person, so in everything I do, I intend to get positive results. However, like I said before, we will definitely vet each situation and see if it works well for us, if it's in the interest of our platform, if it's in the interest of what flag is trying to portray in the Liberian community. And if we don't believe that it works for us, then we will not. But right now, I think it will be premature for us to say if the optics will be good or not.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, Mr. Dennis.
Yeah, Mr. Bright, thank you very much. You know, one thing I noticed is that when you come into the office of the community leadership, you come with excitement. You know, you're so
Yes.
excited. You go to every program, they will welcome you. Here comes the president of FLAD, and they give you the seat. So, but it comes on the other hand, it comes with spending. It comes going deeper into your pocket. The people expect a lot of you. You see FLAD president in the house, they sit you at a higher table. At the end of the day, it comes with making contribution, making donation. What are some of your track record in community leadership, especially in the diaspora? What are some of the things you bring on board that we should expect or learn from you as president of FLAD? What do you think we should be expecting?
So track record and expectations are two different things, but I will handle both of them. So initially, from way back, from high school to refugee life in Ghana, and all the way back to Canada here, I've always been in leadership. This is something I always aspired for, and sometimes even if I am not even thinking about it, it walks to my door. I worked here while I was in university. I worked as a student council leader. Liberian people will always say we the first and we the only, but I would try to stay away from that. But I was a student council leader here in my university, and after that, I was a leader in the Ottawa, Ontario Association way back when. In 2000, 2001, and 2002, I was treasurer and then vice president, in the association. I held a lot of different positions in different positions in the diaspora. When I went back home after university, I went back home for some years, and I was there. I served as head of a lot of different organizations, political and non-political. So we have a lot of experience that we bring to the table. And I understand when you say that's true. You are expected to dig into your pockets a lot of time, and it takes away from your family life. Your family has to be fully involved. So I always tell my wife that she's the president number two. She's not vice president, but she's president number two, because whatever I do, she has to be there. She has to support me. She has to be everywhere I am. So those are the kind of things that we understand. And before we even decided to take this position, we had to have a strong conversation with the family, because like I said, it's going to take a lot to do this. And I hope that I will get a lot of support in order to achieve what we're trying to do. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I can go one more.
Go ahead. I was going to come back to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm speaking for a little background into this community diaspora politics here.
Go ahead.
And you said in one of your responses, you said that it's a non-political, but this is a national organization here in Canada. So how do you plan to liaise with elected officials in Canada?
Oh no. So I didn't mean that FLAG is non-political. I said we are not 100% political. So yes, we're very political, but we have a lot of cultural and social aspects to what we do. We have actually started liaising already. In the elections process, we had to reach out to everybody. And we've reached out to, I can say, every community leadership in Canada. We've built relationships. There are some of them who don't aspire to our agenda and to our platform, which is okay. There are some communities that are not members of FLAG and they don't want to be a member of FLAG, and that's okay too. I believe that there's beauty in diversity. So we've been able to reach out to people, and we've been able to convince a lot of people that we are coming with a different agenda. Now, if we achieve that agenda, I believe that we will have a lot of people joining us, in the fight. I mean, like anywhere else, there will be people who would definitely not like what you're doing, and that's fair. So I feel that we have to be able to give everybody the space to operate. Yeah, that's something that I want to do.
Thank you very much, Mr. President Bright. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will hear from the Secretary General, the Senate, Abraham Cozet, but we will do that right after our break.
Thank you very much.
In our community, we help each other.
Okay.
But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
You on the trip?
You on a trip? You on a trip?
You on a trip? On a trip?
I'm on my trip.
Hello everyone, I'm Lionel Bernard, aka LB, co-founder of LiveFest. Did you know that LiveFest is not all fun and games? In fact, we're opening on a serious note. Day 1 is our investment forum, taking place on December 17th from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the Ministerial Complex in Congo Town. After the forum, let's meet and greet right down the street at the Calabash. Later that evening to socialize and to connect. Check out LiberiaFestival.com for details and to get your tickets today.
You on a trip? On a trip? Coming to Liberia, my people, where you gonna be? December 18th, leave at 9 a.m. to Father. We waterfall. I need you there. Don't miss it. You go. Really? December 18th? Will you miss? Be there. You on a trip?
You on a trip? You on a trip?
Hi, this is Bud Desmond Johnson, co-founder of LiveFest. I'm here to tell you about 2 events. The LiveFest Basketball Tournament and the Beach Party. The LiveFest Basketball Tournament kicks off on December 19th at the SKD Basketball Gymnasium at 9 a.m. Diaspora All-Stars is going to be logging on the 4 best teams in the world. The Oilers, the Barrow, the Spartacus, and the NBA Fighter. It's going to be basketball at your place. You don't want to miss it. And then on December 21st, we go to the beach to soak up the sun at Caesar Beach. Gates open at 9 a.m. We're going to have good music, good vibes, good drinks, good ambience. The whole diaspora are going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be broadcast live by the biggest television station in America, LRTN. So be there or be square, because I know I'm going to be there.
You want a trip? You want a trip?
Yo, this is your girl, May Louisa. The LIB Fest musical concert is this December 20th at the SKD Sports Stadium. This is more than just a music fest, it's a jamboree. It starts at 3 p.m. till the wee hour. I'm hoping to see you there because I will be there. See you in Monrovia.
You on that trip? Oh yes, I am on that trip. That trip will be having a Wounded Investment Summit that has 3 transactions to be consummated. An oil palm refinery, a Conrad Hilton resort, and hopefully a development finance bank. It is not a talking shop. You are invited at no cost, and I hope to see you all.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us, this is the Liberia Radio and Television Network, bringing you a brand new episode of Season 8 of The Hard Zone. If this is your first time here, The Hard Zone is an opinion-based talk show. We talk about important issues in Liberia and the diaspora. Before we rejoin our conversation, let me just bring you some of what we missed during our break from Season 7 to Season 8. We have some very important historic wins in the just ended election here in the U.S., beginning with one Roger Allen. He won the school board in Levittown, Liberian born. And then we have next is Joa Kamara. He also won the Democratic seat for mayor in Darby Borough. Again, that's Joa Dan won the Democratic seat for mayor in the Darby Borough in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we have one Siddiq Amara. He also won Delaware County seat for the sheriff. And as far as Africa is concerned, we have Zora Madini won the mayoral seat in New York City. Those are some historic wins for Liberia and the motherland Africa as well. Zora Madini is from Uganda in East Africa. Now let's get back to our discussion. We have here the just elected president of the Federation of Liberia Association in Canada and the Secretary General designate of that same organization. We're having our discussion here based on that organization and their activities. Now let's hear from you, Mr. Secretary General. Talk to us. I know the president earlier stated that he won on a white ballot. Was that the same for your election as Secretary General?
Yeah, thank you again, Derek. So like Mr. Berkeley said from the beginning, we had a vigorous process. We went through all the electoral processes and we followed the rules and guidelines that governed the election. But again, same thing, there were people who couldn't meet up with the regulations and recommendations set up. So I was fortunate as well to have won on white ballot. So yeah, we had the same kind of issue.
Thank you. And I hate to push this again, but when you're around Liberian organization, especially here in the US, you see things that I just have to ask you this question. But before I do that, it will be part of me, Mr. Boda. Let me welcome you to the show. Welcome to another episode of the Hard Zone, Mr. Martin Boda. It's good to see you again, of course.
Thank you, Derek. I'm excited to be here tonight. Excited to see the rest of the folks who've been alive. I want to say thanks to everyone and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. Always good to see you. Back to you, Mr. Goza. And like I was asking, web ballot can sometimes be an indication that people really do like you, or it can be some foul play with the Constitution. Talk to us how that works, because people are just backing out of elections and not meeting up with the regulations. I'm sure have been around for the past 10 years, and that's how long the organization been. So it's either the people really do like you, or how was that process of people not being qualified? We can just speak to that.
Again, I'm speaking in my capacity as the Secretary General designate. I didn't partake in the electoral process as election commissioner or whatever. So I know for one fact that the guidelines were set in order to obtain the seat of the secretary position. You will have to meet a certain qualification. So, and as far as I am aware, the election commissioner wrote me that I've been elected on white ballot because people, candidates who vied for the positions, they didn't meet the qualifications. So, I'm not privileged to know what were their downsides. So I can only speak for the fact that I was informed that they didn't meet the qualifications. So, yeah, my.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And let me just ask you this question and then I'll move on to the panelists. We have only a few minutes left for this interview. So when I come back to you panelists, you can direct the question to either the secretary or the president-elect. Now, your new role as the Secretary General, what are some of the issues that or challenges that you're faced with in your jurisdictions, and how do you plan on tackling those issues?
And I mean, like in every organization that relates to Liberia, we know the issue about bringing people together, transparency, and accountability is always a challenge. So these are things that we know that we're going to have as challenges. And before accepting to occupy this position, we've already earmarked what are those things that we're going to achieve to see how best we can get people together. Because being the Secretary General, you want to make sure that everything as it relates to the function of the organization, you have to like be on the day-to-day activities of the organization. So, and sometimes when it comes to documentation, there's always some challenges. There are people who have documents from the past that you want to review, and to get these things done, you will have to face rigmarole and what have you. So we already know these things exist. So we are willing, we are open, like Mr. Zanga said, to work with these challenges. We know that we can do them. And at every point in time that there's a hiccup, then we can always revert to the team and say, yeah, how can we go about doing the rest?
Thank you very much. Let's hear from you, Mr. Boda, because you haven't spoken on this discussion yet, and then we'll take any question from Mr. Dennis and Bishop Reeves. Mr. Boda.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Can you
a little bit, so I didn't catch up on the conversation, so I think
Thank you. All right, we'll take any question from Mr. Dennis or Bishop Reeves. You're on mute, Bishop Reeves.
Yeah, I have a couple of more questions for Mr. Bright and Mr. Secretary. I did hear something that I wanted to hear. You talk about tertiary institutions wanting to establish. We talk about education in Liberia, which I'm very excited about. How do you intend to fund FLAG? How do you intend to fund some of the projects that you're going to be doing in Liberia? And well, you don't have to call names, but what effort are you making as FLAG to connect with the Liberian government? Because some of the things that you would want to do in Liberia in terms of education, you would need the full support of the government, and sometimes people playing politics can affect the morale of what FLAG wants to do in Liberia to just kill the vibe. So what are some of the plans you have in terms of engaging the Liberian government, number one? And number two, how do you plan on funding all of what you want to do, FLAG and the tertiary institution?
Thank you very much, Bishop Reeves. A very good question. Firstly, FLAG is working very closely with the Liberia Trade and Investment Office here in Canada. As we may know, we do not have an embassy or chancellery here in Canada. We are under the embassy in the U.S. And sometimes it feels a little too far for us as Liberians in Canada. So we've been working with the Liberia Trade and Investment Office here, Honorable Jalaquina Hawakone, She's been very gracious in helping us to connect with the Liberian government. We believe that when we actually start a lot of the engagements, it will be smoother for us. Right now, as we speak, we've been having a series of meetings with the city mayor in Liberia for us to engage in our first in some programs in Liberia, and we've also engaged with some talks with the superintendent of Montserrado County. Now we believe that in order to achieve what we want to do, we have to do it at a three-pronged attack. So we will definitely work, hopefully, with the president's office or with someone close to the government to get our aims accomplished. But we also have to work at the municipal and the county levels to ensure that we can actually affect people at all those levels. And that's what we started to do. Obviously, when you do things, you start working in Montserrado most times, but we intend to expand and to other places in Liberia for different reasons, for different programs. We have also spoken with some members of the legislature, and most of these conversations, albeit, have been informal because we have not really taken over yet. But we've had some pre-conversations with some members of the legislature and asking them how we can get into their districts and the jurisdiction and work with the youth there on our trade school idea. Now, I'll be clear here. FLAG is not about to go and build trade schools in Liberia. The idea is to collaborate with the Liberian government and the Ministry of Education and see how best we can help to support. Now, support could be in a lot of forms. Like I said, in Canada, there are a lot of goodwill here. We can probably put together a team of instructors that will carry on some teachers of trainings. We've already started discussing that discussion already. We can also put in other plans. Like this is not a surprise that in Liberia we don't have real workshops for these trade institutions. Few of them do, some don't. So we want to be able to reach out and maybe be able to donate some workshops and stuff. Those are different things that we've put together as an executive and discussed that we're going to endeavor to do. We're hopeful that we can achieve as much as we want to, but it's a very ambitious agenda, and we only have 2 years to accomplish most of them. Lastly, on the funding, it's difficult because we all know community organizations, there's not a lot of money, and we most times the leadership dig into the pocket a little bit, but we can't fund the organization. So we have some ideas, some fundraising ideas for this. We know that on Saturday, and that's something that, sorry if you just give me some time, on Saturday, November 29th, will be our induction and certification program. And it's after that program that we will actually be given the mantle to work. It's not the inauguration, and in Canada, because of the weather, we want to invite you guys, but you guys will start crying when you come up here, and it's a little too cold during this winter. So next year, early spring, we're going to have our inauguration program, and it's going to be a huge African National Unity Conference in Canada that we hope that the LRTN will cover, and we invite people from all around to come and experience Canada and see what our vision is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves or Bishop Reeves or Mr. Dennis. I can only take one more question. So
yeah, I'm not just asking a question. I just want to make a quick recommendation because I know the time is gone. Number one, can I recommend that we have Mr. Bright and his team back again, because this thing dealing with Canada is very educative and we can cover a lot of grounds. Number two, because we're operating on a short time, that question with EULA took a lot of our time. It will not help us to move forward. So please, next time, let's find a way that we can push the questions so that we can all get some education to move forward. Thank you. I appreciate you and
Thank
appreciate
you.
everybody.
We can definitely get our production team to fit flag back on the schedule. But I see you have a question, so you still have I think a minute and 30 seconds left to squeeze a question in, Mr. Dennis.
No, I just wanted to just maybe disagree a little bit when the bishop said that we had spent too much time on EULA. But what we're saying here is we're thinking about partnering in the right direction, and this is a very new organization coming up, and looking at the years of EULA being existing. I think it's something that we got to compare so that they can know what the good and the bad and what to do. But I think that with the SG, thank you very much for your responsive. And Mr. President, thank you very much. I just want to also remind you, if you're not aware of the Diaspora Affairs Office, I think at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Liberia. So some of the things that you will be in need of, you can just reach out to them directly, and of course they'll be there to assist you. So I want to say thank you very much. No further question. But Mr. SG, I hope that you are aware that you are going to be the record keeper for this great institution. So when it's time to give the general conference, you stand ready to make sure that all the meetings and all the T's and I's and everything is dotted. But again, thank you very much. I'm excited to see young people getting involved now. It's not being left with the older folks. So that's the old folks thing. No, I'm happy to see a young man like you volunteering your services to serve your people. Great move, and keep it up. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will give you guys the opportunity to give us your closing remarks here. I'd like to start with the Secretary General and then the President last. And after that, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will get into other discussions here. If you guys would like to stay, you have an open invitation to do so. If not, I would like to say thank you guys for joining us. But let's start with you, Mr. Abraham Gulze.
Thank you so much, Derek and the team, for having us on. So I don't know if Mr. Bright told you our platform, but we are coming to revive, rethink, and rebrand, because Flag has had some setbacks, some challenges. So we are coming to see how best we can contribute to the Liberian community here in Canada, and also to see how best our contribution here can affect our model in Liberia, because the goal of most Liberian organizations I know is that to see how best we can make impact in the lives of our people back home. So we understand there will be challenges. We know these challenges can be overcome because there are people who have gone through similar challenges and they have come out victorious. So we know that these things are possible. And thank you so much for having us.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much, Mr. Abraham Gulze, for joining us on this episode. Let's hear from you now, our President-elect, Joseph Zanga Bright.
I want to thank you, LRTN family, once more for inviting us to spend our evening with you. I want to thank the panelists for these great questions and a very good interaction. And yes, Bishop Reeves, we would love to be back on this anytime we are called upon. I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other and a lot of knowledge that we can share. I just want to close by introducing the rest of my team. So Madam Patience Tule lives in St. Catharines, Ontario. She is the Vice President-elect. Mr. James Kofa Nimle lives in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. He's the Financial Secretary-elect. Madam Samantha Johnson lives in London, Ontario. She's the Treasurer-elect. And Mr. Abraham Gulze is online with me. He lives in Ottawa, Ontario. He's the Secretary General-elect. On Saturday, November 29th, we will be certificated and inducted into office as the new executive team for the Federation of Liberian Associations in Canada. It will be done in London, Ontario at 7 p.m. So we hope by shortly after 7 p.m., we will be the new president proper for the organization. And like I said, in spring of next year, and I will definitely give the the exact date after the induction, but in spring of next year, we'll have a formal inauguration program. And at that program, we'll also have a National Unity Convention. We are hoping that by that time, we'll be able to bring Liberians all around the diaspora and from Liberia to celebrate with us in Canada on what we intend to be a very, very big occasion. Thank you very much again for inviting us here, and we look forward to coming back anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, President-elect Joseph Bright, for joining us, and also back again to you, Secretary General Designate Abraham Gusa. And we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing you guys back on this network. But again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. With that being said, guys, before we take our break, we will usher into a different discussions. We'll focus on Liberia, and here in the U.S., we know President Walker is pushing on to 2 years. How is he doing? And we saw recently he displaying the NTA buses, and also broke the news about the MCC, well, one of the network to break the news actually. And we saw the MCC scorecards, and you guys been following news in Liberia, so we'd like to just kind of get your opinion on things that we missed during the break. And here we witnessed the longest shutdown in the U.S. government history, and we are seeing some major changes as far as they just end the elections. So we'd like to get you guys a position on some of those trending issues that we missed during the break. But before we get into all of that, let's take another break, and we will come back. We will usher right into those discussion.
Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTM.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamet.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamet.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 1 of season 8 of The Hard Zone. My name is Derek Yale, and I'm playing host tonight on the pilot episode of season 8. We just had a great conversation with the president-elect and general secretary-elect of the Federation of Liberia Association in Canada, and now we'd like to usher into a different discussion. Guys, welcome back to The Hard Zone. You know how we do it here. We're seeing a lot of changes, and something I forgot to mention is, despite Africa having a very youthful population, we continue to see older president or president that are of age. And why is that happening? Just recently, we saw the re-elections of President Paul Biya of Cameroon, and it's to serve his 8th term in office, becoming the oldest president in history. And in Liberia, how is President Bouaka doing? I know, Mr. Boda, that is a conversation that you're very much interested in, so we'd like to hear your opinion on that. Here in the U.S., we witnessed the longest shutdown in U.S. history. I'm sure Bishop Reese will give us update on that. So again, it's an open panel discussion. We'd just like to have you just chime into some of the trending issues or breaking news that we missed while we were on break. I'd like to start with you, Mr. Boda. If you can just be a little audible, because the last time we were talking, or at least I was having difficulty hearing you. But again, let me hear from you, Mr. Boda. Thank you. Now I have to start with you, or we lost connection to Mr. Boda. Bishop Reeves, good to see you again. This is the Hard Zone. Talk to us. What have you been following?
Well, I've been following the issue in Cameroon, and I think it's a total disgrace for Paul Biya to continue to stand up over there and say he wants to be president again. I think it's just wrong. I think it's just unfair. You're trying to tell us that all the people in that country, the young generation, people there, there's nobody there to run the country. You, Paul Biya, should always be. And I think also is because of their connection to France, and France realize that they're losing grip in Africa, and so it's a total disgrace. I'm just very much disgusted about what's going on in Cameroon.
Is it? Let me stay with you though. Is it a disgrace because of his age, or is it because the amount of times he has served as president?
Then the amount of time you talk about, 8 different times he's been there. 8. That's
people are voting for him though.
Yeah, but you see, listen, if you want a country to really develop and move forward, you need fresh brains, you need fresh people. At least every now and then you can go first, second, third term if possible, but 8, it doesn't make sense at all. Now, I would have been quiet if the constitution was different. All right, because look at countries like Singapore. Okay, the development is going on. They have this person that they have there. They're not, changing people. But you see that the country moved from here to there, day and night. But let's look at Cameroon. Let's look at Paul Biya. Let's look at Paul Biya's records. Let's see what Paul Biya has been doing all this time. 8 different times you've been there. Cameroon is still struggling. So that's my issue with that.
Thank you. I'll come back to you on that. But let's hear from you now, Mr. Dennis Chami, and you can respond to Bishop Reeves, or you can talk to what's been on your mind.
Yeah, I just want to agree with the bishop. I mean, that nothing else I can add more than what the bishop just said. Look at Cameroon. I mean, Paul Biya, he reached his peak already. What else he gonna be doing there? So at this time, where is the country moving? Is the country progressing, or is it regressing? So where are we? And one thing I see here is that I agree with the bishop with France. France is losing ground.
That is a conspiracy theory, though. But go ahead.
So that's something that we can discuss further. But I want to just support the fact that what else? What is he going to do differently from what he has been doing for the last 8 or 7 terms? What's going to happen? So again, the people, he's still favoring him. So they continue to elect him. But are we seeing democracy? Is that what we call democracy in across Africa or in Cameroon? And that's the question to ask and talk more on later. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. Let's hear from Mr. Boda before I have a question for you, but let's hear from Mr. Boda first. Mr. Boda, can you hear me? I think we're having a problem with Mr. Boda again. But yeah, you're agreeing with Bishop Reeves on Paul Biya presidency, President Paul Biya. Now, one considers there are similarities between him and what we have in Liberia today. Look, how would you differentiate between President Boakai and President Biya, with the exception of him serving for eight good terms?
Now, when it comes to President Boakai, people are looking at his age now. This is his first term in office as president, even though, yes, he served as vice president, but serving as president of a nation for 8 terms. So imagine we doing a calculation, 4 years per term. So you time in 4 times 8. That's what 32 years in office. That's how we see it. That's why we are looking at. We are not looking at his age. We're not saying age is not the issue here, but the issue is continuing with it. And he keeping the country, So you're telling me that for 32 years he have prepared nobody, even in his party, to lead the country? So is he the only one who can lead Cameroon? That's the question we're trying to. That's the concern we're having now. For 32 years, or for what?
Thank you.
Years. So that's just the area. That's the direction that we're moving in. I think you should allow the younger people, the younger breed to come up and display their talent, their leadership skills. It's every 4 years, every 6 years, every 8 years, whatever the years may be. Let them come and display their talent, and then you can sit back and enjoy the remainder of your time, your years on the planet Earth. You don't have to be president for life until they can come in and remove you from office and then and get you out of the country in exile. No, you want to lead and exit with honor, and that's the problem we see.
That's the word. That's the word. That's the word. Leave office with honor. Leave office with respect. Look, it's a major problem for us in Africa, especially where leaders do not raise other leaders to take over. They want to lead and stay there and die there, But we want leaders who can raise other leaders. We want leaders who are able to pass the baton to the next generation, to have a good succession plan. It is very healthy for the country if we can think that way and move in that direction. So Paul Biya need to sit down.
And I'll just come in again to put this back on you guys, because this is not just unique to Cameroon or Paul Biya. If you look at Africa, we're very accustomed to not trusting the younger generation. We have presidents, including the president of Liberia, that are of age that you would think will start educating the younger generation how to lead, but that's what's happening in Africa as a whole. Even though we have a very youthful population compared to other continents. Now, my question: why does that seems to keep happening? Not just the presidency, with other public offices, we are seeing that the older generation is preferred to serve, except for the likes of Burkina Faso. But my question to you guys would be: why is that a norms in Africa, and how can we use our voices to change that?
Okay, in answering that question, I see you still trying to drag in Omen Boakai into this case because of his age. You keep trying to drag the old man.
I have literally mentioned entire Africa, and
you need to desist from this, Derek. This is hard. This is hard Zoom. We're here and we're ready. I want you to know that.
If I want to ask question for directly to President Boakai, I will ask that question. I just
but you continue to tag him along. You need to tag him along with a question.
Okay. Let me say this before you address my question.
Stay away from there.
Why do you think I'm trying to drag President Boakai into this? Both for you, Mr. Dennis and Reeves, keep trying to excuse him out of the conversation. You keep focusing on the fact that he is the if train. It could be his first or his second. The fact of the matter is they're both presidents that are old. That needs to pass on the baton that you mentioned to the younger generation. So if you want to drag President Bouaka in,
but Derek, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't
go where?
You look here in the United States. Biden just left office, right?
Mm-hmm. That is all.
So what happened? So we're not talking about the age here. We're talking about someone retaining himself. I can say that now in office for 8th term for 32 years. That's what we're speaking to now.
Yes,
for 32
that's what
years,
we're talking about.
We're not speaking of age. So my question now, my concern.
So you don't think
32 years
matter in leadership?
No, that's not our focus.
That's not our focus.
Age matters. Age matters. Age is important. Age matters. It's important. But that's not our focus. Our focus is the fact that he's been in office for 32 years. Come on, man.
We can say the same thing for President Bouaka. He's been around public office for 40 years.
No. President Bouaka has not been. Listen, don't stop playing politics with us. President Bouaka has been serving in different capacity. This is his first term as a president that he can make decisions for the country. So Paul Biya has always been president.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Derek, can I jump in?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Buddha. But thank you for agreeing with me, Bishop Reed. Mr. Buddha, go ahead.
For agreeing with you with what? Don't confuse the conversation here. What do you mean?
I will come back to you, Bishop Reed. You agree with me, and I will clarify.
No, I didn't agree with you in nothing. So clarify yourself.
Let's hear from Mr. Buddha.
So my take to the Paul Biya situation, or older president, older African leader being in power, if Mr. Biya violating any of the constitutional amendment, any constitutional within his country in terms of being elected, that's the first thing we need to understand. Has he violated the Constitution to re-elect himself?
No,
if that is not the case, if that is not the case, then we also have to look at the composition of political party within Gambia. What are their structure? What are their movement? Is that movement solidified to be able to also Mr. Biya from office? So we can't just speak to the fact that because he's been there long, he's not violating a constitutional amendment or constitutional guideline. I think we should be looking at the political institution. What are they doing? Are they preparing themselves to also Mr. Biya, or what are their program? What are they doing? Or if Mr. Biya failing his country, what is he doing to keep the masses voting for him that the opposition cannot do? So those are questions that we need to answer. If we can answer these questions, then we can say, okay, Mr. Biya is there. The longevity being there is just not necessary. But if he win elections and the elections were fairly done, then I don't see then Mr. Biya is doing something good.
Thank you very much for raising that point, Mr. Boda. Let me, you may raise an excellent point that I don't even have a question for you. I will just go on at that. But again, back to you, Bishop Reeves. You agree with me that President Bouaka has been in office or around public space for over 40 years. I think he has enough experience to pass on to the younger generation. But let me say this to Mr. Boda's point, because what I've sensed that both of you trying to ignore is one that President Biya did not violate the Constitution. And as much as you want to let Kuzje's propaganda on him being president for 8 years as though he violated any parts of the Constitution or making it seem like it's a bad thing, the Liberian people get a common saying, you lead a coin in your eye and pointing it out in somebody else's eye. President Biya, I will come to you, Bishop Reeves. If we're going to look at achievement by achievement, we will pick President Biya to go for the next term if he was a citizen of Liberia, because as when we're taking this, both of them are women. First of all, look at President Biya's achievement in Cameroon and compare that to that of President Bouaka. And let's talk about priorities. To
a point, Derek.
I will come to you. I will come to you. If we are to compare the side by side,
but Derek, you cannot compare that. That comparison is very poor. 32 years versus what? 4 years?
You're so
Granted,
wrong for
granted.
trying to do that. You're
Granted.
so wrong for trying to
Yeah.
make that kind of
32
comparison.
years.
Let's not.
For 4 years?
I'm not.
Derek,
Listen,
come on, Derek,
listen.
come on.
You can't say I can make a comparison. You're focusing on the 8th year, and we're not talking about.
It's
Listen,
not 8. It's not 8. It's
It
8 terms.
is.
You're talking about
I stand
32
corrected. 8
years.
terms.
You cannot compare 32 years with 4 years.
But what about
There's
the
no way.
achievement, though? What about the achievement?
What kind of achievement?
Has
Give
there
us
been
Paul Biya's achievement.
Has
Give it to us.
there been any political instability in Cameroon? Has there been?
Yes. Yes.
If you were to compare or Google Paul Biya's achievement in Cameroon, I think you would prefer him going for the now.
No way. You cannot even compare it. You cannot compare Paul Biya with that of Omen Boeka. It's like there's two different things altogether.
Why is that two different things? There are two old people in office.
You're talking about 32 years versus 4 years. How can you compare that?
Listen, I'm
Derek, that comparison is very poor.
How can you compare 32 years with 4 years?
32 years.
Listen,
let's
again.
Are we going to have some
guys?
honest discussion here tonight, or you just going to be throwing things out?
Where did Bishop come from?
Right. First of all, Bishop Vega, I look at the roster for the panelists that was supposed to appear on this show tonight. I think I don't know how you got them, but I had to speak to the production team. Anyways, let's recognize the presence. Bishop Vega, welcome.
He's snuck in. You're welcome, Bishop.
Listen, Derek. Let me inform you. When you come on these shows, it's very important to make your research, and I will want to really educate you. John Frundi won the election in Cameroon in 2008 massively, the opposition leader. Paul Biya manipulated the electoral process. What are you talking about, Derek? What are you talking about? You want to compare a corrupt Paul Biya that all the Cameroonians want him dead to our president, Joseph Yuma Boaga, who is the savior of the Liberia. What are you talking about? No, that really blow my mind. Paul Biya, you know, when he had long over 40 years, control the electoral process, manipulate the system, do everything in Cameroon to suppress free and fair election. Joseph Yuma Boaga, vice president, he ran against George Weah, 2017. He allowed George Weah to become president. He accepted. And then you want to come here on the public forum, you need to apologize to the Liberian people. That George Weah, Joseph Yuma Boaga is even worse than Paul Biya. It's comparing darkness to light. What? There's no comparison.
Bishop Hager, I think they both have similarities.
No similarity. No similarity. I will not say, I will not accept it. No way. No way.
Is that similarity by age?
Let me tell you, I just electoral manipulation. Joseph Yuma Boaga never manipulated any electoral process. He's authoritarian. Joseph Yuma Boaga is a democratic, and he believes in a democratic culture. The man control all the state institutions in Cameroon. He lack up political prisoner. Wait, tell me one political prisoner that Joseph Yuma Boaga lack up. Tell me.
But that's not the only.
No. Why not? Why not? Tell me why. Which is a political prisoner that Joseph Yuma Boaga are put in prison? And which opposition leader in prison in Liberia? With all the causing him. Now one in prison. And then you want to compare it?
Bishop Hager, I still maintain my initial point. They are both people that have been.
Let me tell you, Joseph Yuma Boaga, he will serve for 1 term if the Liberian people want to go over 2 terms. Paul Biya changed the election to serve on uncountable time. Joseph Yuma Boaga and Paul Biya not the same.
Bishop Hager, are you going to protect me? Thank you.
Just carry my temperature up, man. Don't tell me you try it, sir.
Bishop Hager, I maintain my initial position
Mr. Boda,
President
you are not
Paul
doing your
Biya,
work. Oh. Mr. Boda, you're supposed to
President.
protect. You're supposed to protect Derek, Mr. Boda. You just there. You're not saying nothing.
You know, the truth of the matter is, Bishop Hagar can come with all of the energy.
But Derek gave Hagar the bishop the chair. If you are pausing now to talk, yeah, he just came later. He started blasting.
Just because I know Bishop Hagar do not like to hear the truth, when, especially the concern President Bata.
Start throwing talk like that, man. But we have to talk some serious thing to help our countrymen. Start throwing talk like that. No.
I think Bishop and Mr. Boda know I'm saying the truth here, but again, let me reiterate my point. Bishop Hagar, I maintain my initial position. As far as age is concerned, President Bouaka and President Biya shares some similar. And again, I will reiterate: if we're looking at achievements and priorities, it doesn't matter how long or how many terms each president has served. We cannot compare President Bouaka to President Biya, because I'm pretty sure if you look at the records, President Biya has achieved more. Comes to priority, President Bouaka has been in office or around public space for over 40 years. He's pushing on to 2 years. What
you
have
are
he
wrong. You are wrong.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Don't come talk about public space. Okay, so how many years have Paul Biya been in public space before we talk about presidency? You are wrong. Don't manipulate us yet. Don't do that. You're trying to say Bouaka has been in public space, so you adding that up to the presidency, which is wrong.
I'm not doing that. I'm just.
That's exactly what you've done.
No,
you're using Bouaka public space time along with Biya's 30-some more years as a president, as a sitting president. You can't compare that.
Mr. Reeves, if you were protecting that, Mr. Boda said he did not violate the Constitution. He did not do any of those.
I beg to differ. He violated the Constitution.
Bishop Hagar, everything you say will be allegedly until you provide some proof. But again, we saw someone that been around public space for over 40 years, and he came to power pushing on to 2 years, and you know what he has prioritized? Building a senior citizen graveyard for his old friends. That's what he's done. Reburying people, why people suffer in Liberia, why the education system is at an all-time decline. Your healthcare, security sector, you already know the story. What are President Bouaka prioritized? So let's not make this discussion about President Biya serving 8 terms, because we are all against that. But if we look at achievement and we look at age, first of all, there are similarities, and we cannot any day compare the achievement of President Biya to that of President Bouaka and Bishop Hagar. You know the truth to that. You know the truth.
But there's no way you can compare achievements. We can't even talk about achievement because you are talking about 32 years versus 4 years.
But he
hasn't. Even he's not even 4 years yet.
2 years.
So how can you compare achievements? How can you even mention achievements?
I think we're missing an argument here. I think the point was trying to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. Let's hear
from
you.
So let's get to the
achievement. You are wrong for mentioning that.
Let us talk about. I think the question was, why is it that you got a lot of old presidents in Africa?
Mr. Hagar usually just try to deviate.
So let us address the central idea that we're talking about. I mean, achievement between Bouaka and it's not comparable between Bouaka and Biya. It cannot be comparable because the length of time and
for over 3 years.
No, I mean in the overall office, the length of time he has served to Bouaka, that would be disingenuous to President Bouaka. But let's look at we're looking at why are older people being in power in Africa, so compared to bringing in young folks. So that's the conversation we're having here.
Thank you.
So let's get back to that line of the conversation. Why are they not involved, or why are they being left behind? So let's get back to the conversation. So there would be so many factors.
And before we can get back to that, I just want to make some clarification.
Mr. Dennis.
But I just want to provide clarification, please.
I will allow you to provide a clarity, but I want for Mr. Boda to list those factors, and I promise to come back to you. Go ahead, Mr. Boda.
So, first, the older folks have been in power so long, they have the institution. that has given them the edge. Secondly, the opportunity has not been afforded to the young generation. They have not come to organizations. They don't have the structure of organizations. Finances, the older folks have enriched themselves. So in Africa, we understand politics is about money. So if you don't have money, you don't have the gain control. So those factors are kind of taking the young generation behind, because and many of them have become puppet to older generation because they just want to get into the game and enrich themselves as well. So they themselves have become corrupt because they're not fighting to change anything other than getting wealth. So those factors cause them to always be lingering behind the older folks just to enrich themselves as well. We see it play in around Africa. Look at Nigeria. Look at typical Liberia. Let's just go back to our own country, Liberia. Look at the young folks that got buried in the office. These are all poor young men. If you go back to take stock of their achievement and what they have now financially in a game, financially, their wealth is more than what they have brought to the table. So these are the factors that affects political leadership in Africa for the young generation.
So we agree that we in Africa, we have not. So we agree that in Africa, we have not done well when it comes to passing the baton to the younger generation. We have made it cultural and traditional because in Africa we respect elders and we respect, the older folks. So the older folks think that they should be the one to always be there. But I tell you the truth, the way life is going, I think it's been wrong. You see, we need to move away from the older people and pass on to the younger generation, which is leadership. Even the older people who are there, they don't have plans of training and grooming the younger generation. If they were training and grooming, they would be happy to pass the baton over. But they're not doing that. They're not training young people. They're not grooming them. So they end up thinking that if they pass it on, the country will go down and they will not do this, they will not do that. I'm sorry. We have not done well in Africa, and I give ourselves 0 for that.
Thank you very much. I would like to get a clarification on Mr. Dennis West before I hear from Bishop Hager, and then I will chime in.
I will still say it. I know we're moving in the right direction now.
I kind of feel like I know what you're about to say. Go ahead, Mr. Dennis.
So I just want to get the numbers right. We were looking at Cameroon. Actually, it's 7 years per term. So 7 times 8. So that would be 56 years in office. That's for Biya. I just want to add that too. And then when we go to the discussion now, what we're seeing here, my observation is that the African leaders, especially the older ones, succeeding themselves because they have fear that they will be confronted of that wrongdoing and not providing adequate services to the people. And they're not producing leaders to replace them when they are not serviceable anymore. And that is the fault of all of us, because they don't want, it should be me. So everyone should come to me to seek that gravy. Oh, I want this at my door so that they can have their needs met. And that is something that we have to learn to move in the right direction. Training people to replace us when we are not in the position of making some decisions, but we have to guide them. But do we want a beggar to be appealing to us and throwing our bags around? No. So we have to move in the right direction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. Bishop Hager, let's hear from you.
The conversation is very unique and interesting. It presupposes that we believe that older people don't have the mentor or a leadership capacity to continue to lead.
Just Walker.
Okay. Now I'm so blessed that I have a man who believes in the African tradition. Is Honorable Dan Kepaye Dennis, someone that really valued our institution. And as a student of history, I will realize that during the golden age of Africa, leadership was not generational thing. It was transference. So what happened in our society way back before the democratic tendencies came, the order, the chief, after they are served, they will start to impact the wisdom in the younger people, and there's that natural fading out of the older people, no competition, no rivalry that will come into play. And the transition is normal with no conflict. Today, if you take the older generation of Liberians or Africans, the cohesiveness among the older people are better than even the young people. There's so much division among young people. So when it comes to the political governance of our country, the young people themselves have not shown that they have the maturity level to lead this affair of the nation. I am saying this among the young people, the fragmentation. So if we're going to follow our value, and I guarantee that Derek does not believe in any African value. He had never been read into our culture. He never went to the Senate Society, never went to the Pro Society. He don't understand. So he just think that when you know both, you can just come and tell an older person, I can't open my mouth to an older person. I respect the authority. So older people in Africa hold an important role in our governance structure. We must value them. We must give them. They think when you be talking, you wake up because you went to university and just think you know more than old people. Wisdom is the application of knowledge, my friend. To lead people, it requires wisdom, not education. So I don't believe right now in Liberia, when I look at the young generation, they're not prepared for leadership. Because every day, what they say immaturity to the higher level. Thank you.
Mr. Hager, I disagree with you with some points, Mr. Hager. I disagree with you some points. And what are those points that I disagree with you on? Whatever the young people are becoming is the result of what the older people have sown. So if you have not shown respect, if you have not shown discipline in these young people when they are growing up, if you have not shown education, if you have not shown tradition into these young people, what do you expect to get out of them? Look at Liberia. For 2 generations, we're fighting war. So those generations who came out from 1990, they don't know anything of what the real Liberia looked like. I don't blame them. I blame us. I blame the older people. Because the older people did not sow into, look at the education of the younger generation. They did not sow. They were fighting. They were disagreeing. And while they were disagreeing, people were having babies. Babies were growing up. And they did not think that as these babies are growing up, they will see our mess. They will see all the things that they're not supposed to see, and they will start practicing and even multiplying with our mess. Okay. Let's be honest enough. I totally agree with you, Bishop. The older generation agree with you. To be held responsible. I totally agree with you. Is coming to today. Thank you. I totally agree with you, Reverend. Cephas Reed. I clap for you. That's why my president, Joseph Human Boyka, said we'll face this country. We'll straighten it up. We'll make it correct. We make mistakes. We take ownership of our mistake, but we'll not continue to make mistakes. We'll straighten this country. Thank you.
Just hear from me, Mr. Boda.
Look, I know there's a blame factor in the situation here where the older generations had a shared blame in this factor.
All of the blame, by the way.
And the younger people also have their share, because what I'm saying that is when they brought in the young generation that was succeeding the older people, let's look back in during Tower days, coming when Baga then when they brought Baga as a young generation into government, they educated them and they came back. What did they do?
I like that. I like where we are going.
What did they do? That very young generation of Baga, the Sawyer, the Tipotet, the Famule, all of these guys, the Tobana Tipotet, the Baron Ta, all these guys were young people when they brought them into government. They were the light of the young generation. When people went out of the University of Liberia, they all wanted to be family, they wanted to be Sawyer, they wanted to be the rest of the folk. But when they took leadership, what did they do with that leadership? They became more corrupt. They thought they reached themselves. So they think the education they gave them, they did not pass that education down to the next generation. They bring stagnation. Today that we find ourselves, that it repeat itself again, will come back. The young generation have taken over. When Ellen took over in leadership, we saw they brought a lot of young people. Young, smart, educated Liberians who left the United States, who left the diaspora, went back home. They are in government. What did they do? They all enriched themselves. They had on the power. And what happened to the young people? We keep talking about the young generation. Look at the House of Representatives. How many old people you see in the House of Representatives? They're performing that. They are giving the leadership. But yet they cannot perform. They become very disappointing, corrupt, no direction. They're not showing no direction. Chaos, their respect for themselves. So there's a host of things to go around here.
So, Mr. Boda, let me say this to you. I like the fact that you started from a particular point, and you started from that generation, the Tipo generation. I thank you for starting. But unfortunately, that generation is the generation that did not pass the baton properly. Okay? So in the midst of that generation coming up into prominence to deal with the corruption that we had, coming up into prominence, there was a coup. And when that coup took place, all hell broke loose. That's when Samuel Doe came in. All hell broke loose. Samuel Doe brought that same group to help him. And that group was the main group that brought the scattering and division. You understand? So from that generation, things have been going downhill. It has not been passed on properly. So I will hold the older generation responsible and not the younger generation.
Thank you very much, Bishop Reeves. And again, Mr.
Can I add something there?
I will come to you.
Briefly.
Go ahead.
One of the most prosperous nations in Africa is Cote d'Ivoire. You can check all the records on Google, and you realize that Cote d'Ivoire always maintain older people to lead their country. They have produced dividend. They have produced results. So this thing about young people giving them the baton, let me tell you, nobody's stopping them. But we can give them all a leadership position, not the presidency. George Weah came there, and nothing he did for 6 years. It was corruption in King Kong, division, womanizing, moving up and down, doing nothing positive for the country. Is that what you want us to go back? Let it be recorded and put it. I say so. The young people were very, very, very disappointing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop Hagan. Let me go back to you, Mr. Boda. I do not like the picture because you're painting the younger generation. In early administrations, you gave young people secondary role. And if we look at the foundation of those young people, I don't think we're expecting much out of them.
What?
And the Bishop Hagan, I'm coming to you, okay? I think you called me out talking about the Poro and Sende society. It's true. No. Bishop Hagan, let me address this. I reject any society that puts woman down.
No. Don't even go there. Don't discuss it. Just remain quiet. Don't say anything on that. Don't say anything. You have no idea on it. You have no idea. Just remain quiet.
No, but Bishop Hagan, protect the man. Bishop Hagan,
when I say anything about that place.
No, Bishop Hagan, you can't tell the man that. You let the man be protected.
You brought my name on and you attached it to the Poor and Sender Society.
Yeah, we disconnect you from that.
Any day of
Alright.
you for that.
any day.
Bishop Hager, you gotta get Derek, protect Derek, Bishop.
Thank you. Any day of my life, I will reject any society, any organization that tells me no matter how much education I get, I can't ask questions. My ideas will not be accepted. I should listen to this older man because all of a sudden he knows better. I will not reject. I will reject that idea any day. That society.
Why you're always
anything.
confused? You're
But
always
again,
confused.
let's protect me, please. Okay. I like what Bishop Reeves said, and I feel like Bishop Hager maybe he forgot the education part because someone once said, right, the progress of a nation is not swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is our fundamental resource. Go back to your president and tell him to invest in human capacity. But we can put
I will not leave this line like that, please. No. You get me throwing cheap talk here tonight.
Let the man finish. Let the man
finish.
No. Bishop Hager, let the man finish.
You're gonna have to protect him, Bishop Hager. If you don't educate your society, you cannot expect them to lead tomorrow. I can give you a perfect example of two different countries. The United States. We saw Barack Obama here. Just around the same time he was born, they passed a law, no child left behind. They educated the younger society, and we saw Barack Obama leading the country for 8 good years. Their case study, George Weah, that you just mentioned. If the government then had provided adequate education for George Weah and his contemporaries, when it was his time to leave, we would have saw a better result. George Weah, as much as people like him, is a functional illiterate that will put in power. But leave George Weah alone. Look at your House of Representatives today.
So because he didn't get it, he was not able to introduce it, right? Is that what you're saying?
I will learn.
No. Before you learn, add that to your point.
I will learn. That was not what I'm saying. My main point is what Bishop Reeves raised earlier. We keep every administration, for a matter of fact, every administration we keep forgetting to educate or to invest in human capacity. And guess what? Those people you don't educate, those are the people that will be qualified to be representative tomorrow, that will be senator and president tomorrow and be minister.
Yes.
If you do not educate them, I guarantee you within the next 2 decades, you will get another Yeke Koluba. You will get another representative that don't even know how to read. So Bishop Hager, instead of focusing on blaming the young people that you just gave some deputy minister, Bishop Hager.
Intellectual discussion.
Bishop Hager, let the man finish. Bishop Hager, let him wait, please. Let the man finish. Let him learn.
So instead of blaming the people that you did not even educate, you didn't get a good secondary education, to blame them for not being a star-struck great leader, I think it's wrong. I think you need to apologize. Because you did not educate those people, your expectation of them actually producing real results should be lower. And now we have the chance again. Maybe you should start preaching the message of investing in human capacity. Then we'll have hope in the future for our leaders to be good. But now the best ones are either in the diaspora, don't have any interest to go back, or will be rejected or looked down upon when they go back because they think that they're better than them. Go ahead, Bishop Hager.
What? I will not buy all those unfounded statements you are making. I just want for us to have an educational conversation here. Look at the 2026 budget for Liberia. The Liberia education budget, the education budget in Liberia 2027 national budget is approximated 123.98 million, which is a earmark for tuition-free policy, school renovation, expanded school program.
We'll see the result in 2050.
Hold on now. We are saying for the first time in Liberian history, we are allocated 123. Listen, you want to learn or you don't want to learn? You want to learn? You said to us right now that we're not making any investment in education. You talk about Joseph Yuma Bwanga when you started your show, Perry, former president. I told you it was necessary. It was reconciliatory. Reconciliation important. How much? Less than 300,000 was spent. Less than that. All the initial activity. What is a big deal to give with the only country in the world that our former president was lying down in something like garbage bin, and we feel honored with that? Are we happy? I don't care whatever the person just said the person did. to give them state burial is a wrong thing. This year we allocated $123.98 million in the national budget for education. That's the first time. Why can't we appreciate the government? All of the district, the 73 district, the government is building the high school, building the elementary school, building a standardized junior high. The first time, multilateral. Why you can't talk about that?
I can tell you that can win you an election in local country, but that conversation will not fly here under President Bouaga revamp the Constitution because as far as we're concerned, that is not going to. But we have just a few minutes to end the show, so we will take a break. When we come back, we'll ask you guys for your closing. Thank you.
Okay, Derek.
This is episode 1.
Derek, we didn't go to. We'll come to Labrador next time. We'll talk more about the government achievement.
Bishop Bigger just interrupted the show and tried to preach. Waka is already president.
The bigger hard got joke.
But let's take our final break, and when we come back, we'll ask you guys for your closing.
Our production managers leave you.
I think he's sleeping now.
Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
Maintaining your vehicle can be a major investment. That's why here at Brothers Auto Care, we pride ourselves on providing professional and reliable auto care at affordable rates. Whether you need an inspection, new brakes, or diagnostic reports, our skillful and experienced mechanics are here for you every step of the way. Call Brothers Auto Care now to schedule your next auto maintenance and repair service. At Brothers Auto Care, we help you drive home with peace of mind.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, this is the Hard Zone. My name is Derek Yale, and I'm playing host tonight. I have my panelists on the screen, and we are at the very end of this episode. Guys, before we bring you this panel segment of the show, I would like to make a quick announcement on behalf of the network. Some of you may know or may not, or this network is bereaved. We lost one of our members on the 31st of October this year in Mr. Madison. So live celebration, the wakekeeping will be on the 5th of December, Friday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the homegoing service will be on Saturday, December 6th, 2025 at the Faith Chapel International Ministry Church. So before we get into the next segment, we'll observe a moment of silence. And if you can, just keep the family of Mr. Madison in your prayer and that of the LRTN family as well. So let's observe a moment of silence for him, and then we'll get right back into the show. Thank you very, very much. Guys, it has been a very interesting first episode of season 8. Thank you guys for joining us again. To all of you panelists, thank you. I mean, it's been a very, very interesting discussion here. So now I'd just like to get you guys closing remark on this episode. And I'd like to start with you, Mr. Dennis. And then we'll just go in our order, Bishop Reeves and Bishop Hager, and then Mr. Bodan last. I had to change the order because I don't want to take you last, Bishop Hager, if that's what you're thinking.
No, well, if you want my time, then Derek, I'll give it back to you.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, all right. But again, I want to say thank you, to all of you. I'm happy to be back, and the discussion was great, to the point, and I hope that in continuation in the next future we will dive more into the detail as to the contribution of the older folks versus the younger generation. So I think the older people has more to offer, and the younger generation are yet to benefit from the older folks in the sense that years to come, the younger generation will be the one leading us in the right direction. So we have work to do. And there's a difference between being the president of a nation versus being a member of the cabinet serving in the government, because you're not making decisions, you're serving at the will and pleasure of the president. So you can be appointed, you can be dismissed. So Derek, I just want you to be fully aware of that. So again, I want to say thank you to all of you for the participation, with the ideas being shared, and I look forward to being back here again. Thank you, and good night.
Thank you very much. And before we Bishop Reeves, I got your point, but I don't think that would take away all the credit from President Bouaga from all those years of it. He must have learned something from being around public space for 40 years and then to come in power and then prioritize bearing people. But let's talk about let's go to Bishop Reeves. And dedicating wells, by the way, in Babulu County. Bishop Reeves.
I think you have a personal vendetta against President Bouaga, and you need to come out clean to let us know what's going on with you, and maybe we'll be able to help you. But I'm very excited to be back on the show. We took too long to come back here, and I love the Heart Zone, and I want us to always have very interesting topics, and let's learn from it. Let's learn from it. Now, my major point I want to stress here is the fact that we in Liberia have not done well over the years, passing the baton from the older generation to the younger generation. We've not done well. Somewhere along the line, the cord broke. And Mr. Bodan rightly said it. He called the whole name, the names of all those group of people. Somewhere along the line, that thing broke. And they became older, and they did not pass on. And they gave birth to another generation. They became older, and they did not pass on. They did not invest in education. They did not invest in the things that will bring transformation to our country. And because they did not do that, we have false expectations. We are expecting, okay, the next people who come, they will do better. They are not going to do better because we did not invest in the upbringing of those group of people. So we need to go back to the drawing board as Liberians and as Africans. Let's go back to the drawing board and look at where we miss it so that we can invest more in human capital, invest more in the young people in our country, pass on. We shouldn't lose focus of our tradition. Pass our tradition on, pass on the things that have held us together as a nation. Let's go back, revisit them, and pass them on to our people. And I believe if we are able to go back and do that, give us the next 10, 20 years, we'll begin to see a shift in our country. And last but not least, Bishop Hager, I love the spice that you bring on this show. But don't just bulldoze your way next time when we are having discussion and just jump in and start blasting all over the place. We will hold you in contempt next time if you do that. We love you and we enjoy the show. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you very much, Bishop Reeves. I couldn't agree with you more. Not on the Bishop Hager part, even though I would agree with you on a little bit. But anyways, yeah, the older generation has actually feel terribly. The younger generation, as far as passing that baton. And to your comment earlier, I do not have a personal vendetta with President Bouaka or any other president of Liberia. My thing is if you make good decisions, I will highlight it. I've done so many times on this show. If I see you don't prioritize the Liberian people like President Bouaka is doing, when I see you don't, you seem to not know what you're doing and you shouldn't be anywhere around our presidency, I will highlight that. And I can say this any day: President Bouaka should not be the president of Liberia. The younger generation will suffer, the older generation will suffer. Students, women, children, you name it. Every sector of our society will suffer the aftermath of President Bouaka presidency. But thank you very much. Let's hear from you now, Bishop Hager.
Well, thank you very much. One of the things I realized, Derek, since you were born, I think the only thing you begin was a chaplain in the 5th grade class. You never learned leadership anyway. So you can't be the one to come here and tell people how to govern, because you have never, ever understood the intricacy of leadership. I hear the argument that Joseph Yuma Bouaga been in leadership, around leadership for 40 years. We have people who play football for 14 years. They begin world best player, never built one stadium. Liberia never qualified to go anywhere, because even though they play football, the argument that you bring, oh, he been around presidency, been around power for 40 years, you have experience. People have been playing football for 12 years. They play until they become world best player. When they became leader in Liberia, Liberia never won even Chikusu Cup. Not even Chikusu Cup. So that's a different ball game altogether. What I want to say to us as Liberians, you need to understand this, that to develop a country requires observing the principle of governance. There are what we call ingredients that make a nation prosper. Number one, we need to respect our institution. The election was held, and Joseph Yuma Bouaga won. He will rule that country according to his platform. Whether you criticize,
I like how you said rule. Go ahead.
He's going to lead rule whatever way you want to describe it. I wake up in the morning everywhere, so we are coming by 2020. Who cares? Who cares? Let them come by 2020. Stop it. United Party was in power. They lost power in 2017. CDC King. If George Weah 2029, he's qualified and he win the election, he come back. That's respecting our institution. But it's very exhausting, very disappointing. Every day you wake up, George Weah coming back. It's like somebody with a woman. The woman left you for another man. Then every day you go around, oh, 4 years from now, coming back to my wife. Are you going under your head? The woman be waiting for you for 4 years. The woman going to be waiting for you for 4 years. Every day, who in the right mind will be going around every day saying, oh, I'm coming back to you 4 years. I'll come back to you. You'll be my wife. 4 years from now, you'll be my wife. I'm coming back. It makes no sense. Liberia need to move forward. That challenge every day you see on Facebook, this guy need to stop that nonsense. It makes no sense. John, we are coming back. We're stopping him. But for now, until 2029, Joseph Yuma Bouaga had a job to do. He said he's going to face our country, and I support him. He's going to face it. Let Liberian people know. Let respect our institutions. People fight the police. In Ivory Coast, you attack police officer, you are dead. You fight police, you are dead. And then politicians want to manipulate that. In America, can you challenge police officer in America yet? And then politicians will not condemn that to tell our citizens that you have to respect the institution, but they've been using as a political tools to divide our people. We need to be civil people. If we don't respect our institution, we're just creating crime for ourselves. Liberians, we need to respect our institution. If we want a country to develop, we still want to be the Ghana, we want to be the Nigeria, we want to be the other country. It starts with respecting our institution. It starts with supporting the government in power. It may not be the perfect government, but you will be elected on the agenda, on the platform, and you're going to do it. You criticize him on the judgment day, you're not going to change him. He's going to do what he's supposed to do as he sees fit. God bless Liberia, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bishop Hager. And I have to say this though, it's I seriously oppose anyone that will disrespect our men in uniform, to not respect police officer. But it's also fact that we can see the government is hurting police officers in Liberia more than any single person can stand to fight them. And Bishop Hager, no matter how much anything you want to put in this rhetoric on President Bouakai, and I think it's very interesting though that you will now be expressing some level of fear of a guy you just won a little over 2 years or close to 2 years ago, and now worry about President we are coming back to power is very concerning. You still have a lot of time. Why President Bouakai still have a lot of time in office to not be worried about President we are, who in my opinion think was just as worse as President Bouakai is. But again, I can understand that. They say opposite attracts, or however you want to say. So President Bouakai, I think he set his bar to reach to President we are level. Both is not in the interest of Liberia. But again, we get it. You can say this, say that. Then that I know. Maybe you try to protect what you supported during the elections. That President Bouakai, President Bouakai is bad for Liberia, and that's why I'm going to leave that. Let's hear from Mr. Boda.
He's not bad. He's the best.
Thank you, Derek. My take on this is about Liberia, the older folks versus the young folks. I think we need to teach people service and nationalizations. Liberia needs to know to love their country, to serve. And that is why we need to start teaching our generation. The young generations, our institutions, be respected. Because I think we all who are on the panel here knew back in the days when we were growing up, we saw policemen, the level of respect that we have a policeman. And our institutions were well respected, and we had civil servants. And those institutions is now lacking behind. We need to rebuild those institutions where we have people doing national service. We have to start going back to those things. We see Ghana developing, that's where it starts from. Ghanaians, I live in Ghana for 7 years, and I understand the point. If you graduate from high school, you do your national service. University, you do national service. And those things kind of give you the courage to serve your country with dignity and honor. And that is lacking in Liberia. We no longer serve our country. It's about me, it's about my time and those stuff. So my advice to all of our Liberians and our leadership in Liberia is to start focusing on revamping those institutions, those fabric of our society that will make Liberia a citizen, a genuine, to contribute meaningfully to our government, to our community, to our family. Our institution is broken because we're not teaching the value of being a Liberian, what it takes to serve. And those are things that we have to look at. Look at the United States of America. The people are proud. We are proud to be United States citizens. How many of us can stand and knock my chest? I am proud and I want to serve my country. We're always there because we want to gain something from the government, not what we can give, So we need to work on that as a Liberian in our institution, in our various way and means that we can, the churches, the organizations, down to. So go to our bishops, you serve, Bishop Reed, Bishop Hager, and all of our in local community service, to work on our own institution, to work on bringing the fabric of our society back to standard. And the old man is doing his part, and that is, I don't want to discuss the election now because we will contract the difference between Georgia and Bouakai in 2028 when we go to elections. So it is not time to talk about 2029. 2029 is about 3 more years ahead of us. 3-4 years ahead of us. So I don't want to dwell on 2029. 2029 will speak for itself. So if we are coming back, whoever coming back or whoever in the race coming back will determine what Bouakai does between now and 2028.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. And I must appreciate you though. I saw how you pushed that rescue train during the campaign, and now to see you not talking about it anymore, I can literally sense the disappointment, even in addition to you having expressed it on
Listen,
other.
the train, we can trap people anytime. We are now the train, we can put people on and trap. Know how many people enter the train?
Again, if I were,
I'm not disappointed. I'm a state
Anybody can
no, I'm not disappointed. I'm gonna stick with the government going wrong. If it's doing good, I will say it. When it's going wrong, I will say it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, again, thank you guys for your contribution. For those of you watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, thank you for being with us tonight. And just let me provide this disclaimer though. For me or expressing my disenchantment with the administration does not mean I stand in opposition to the Unity Party or the administration or.
Oh my man, you in opposition, man. Stay in opposition, man.
Nah, but thank you all for your contribution to those of you.
I have some intelligence, but we're not going to share here tonight. We're leaving it at that way. We're going to chat Mayor. We're going to chat Mayor.
Thank you, all of you panelists for your contribution tonight, and to you watching us, thank you for joining us. We will be back here next week, Wednesday, same time, same network. My name is Derek Yale. Thank you, Bishop Reeves, Mr. Don Dennis, and Mr. Martin Boda and Bishop Hager. Thank you guys for your contribution tonight. We will see all of you next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Until then, have a pleasant good evening.
Thank you.
Stories told with pure intention. Every voice gets full attention. Building trust without contention.